travelers, what do you do if you have a huge desire to travel but only a couple of vacation days a year?
Read, of course, or watch movies.
So we want to share some armchair travel tips with you and reasons to armchair travel.
So why armchair travel? Well, first of all, because it's fun. Armchair travel is a hobby in itself.
It also feeds the imagination.
You can travel to places that you can't or won't go. For instance, closed countries or the top of a mountain. I'm never going to go to Nepal, although I know it's on your dream list, but I could read a book about it.
It also allows you to time travel because you can explore a country at a different time period than you are in the present. You can explore the history and just all the depth of the culture, where you might see one layer of the culture. If you travel there, you could see depths of a culture through armchair travel.
You can also have a window into no access cultures. There's certain, let's say, religious sects or different types of culture, different places where you're not going to have access to the inside. And books give us a window into those cultures.
It's also stress-free because you don't have to plan for airplane tickets or budget or any of those things. You can just order books online from the library or do some research on the internet and do it from home.
Another benefit of armchair travel is lifelong learning.
It also is a great way to inspire you to get out and explore places that are new to you, whether that's a new country or a new location in your country. It will get you out of the house doing things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of yourself.
It also doubles the fun. Anticipation is almost as much fun as the trip itself, and when you spend some time learning about a place before you go and visit it, you're going to be that much more excited. We did this in almost every family vacation. We studied native cultures before we went to the Midwest. We did Disney school before going to Disneyland. We always tried to have some activities and some learning that happened before the trip because
it enriches your real life travel. So when you get to the place and you know some history behind the statues that are in the city, or some of the buildings, or just some of the background history of a place, you have a better understanding of the culture and the people and maybe their perspective. And so it enriches how you see the world and how you travel. You can appreciate more deeply what you're seeing.
So what book or movie that's set in a different country, a country foreign to you, do you recommend to us? We would love to grow our to be read stacks, and I'd love to hear what you have to suggest.
Yeah, and be sure to stick around to the end of this video because we have a list of resources that you can use to find books and other media about other cultures.
So what are some ideas for things that you can use to be an armchair traveler? Well, most obviously books. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, books can be your first window into another country.
Also, travel magazines. There are so many different kinds of travel magazines, and they're a great resource, especially if you can purchase them for photos of a place. They have beautiful photos that, again, can inspire you to go to places or do things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of yourself.
And of course, there are films. With all the streaming services we have available to us now, you have an unlimited supply of films, both feature films and foreign films that set and highlight another country.
The next is documentaries. This is a great way to explore history or a culture. My husband and I just watched a couple films through the Banff Film Festival, and they did some documentaries about some places in Japan, and it was really fascinating seeing the culture and some of the background as well as the creativity of the film, but just a great way to see something from a documentary standpoint.
And of course, blogs. We have a soft spot for travel blogs.
And travel podcasts. This is a great way to explore cultures while driving in your car, even listening to a travel podcast, whether that's a destination type podcast or just how to travel. We like both of those.
And then there are images, for instance, Google Images or Instagram. Instagram is now the modern day version of pen paling. You can find someone that posts about another country. Maybe they live in the other country or they visited it extensively, and strike up a conversation and even ask some of your questions and learn more about where you're going to go.
And then there's also virtual tours where you can take a tour of a location online virtually, and it's a great way if you can't get there anytime soon to explore something that you're interested in or somewhere that you're interested in.
So now I'm going to give you 11 resources rapid fire of ways that you can find Armchair Travel resources. All of these will be linked below, and I will also splash the URL across the screen as I share them. The first one is tripfiction.com. It's a search engine where you can go in and put in a lot of different parameters, countries, and the type of book that you want, and it will serve up a list of books exactly suited to your needs. The next one is for children. It's called Reading Through the States. This is a compilation of books that cover the entire United States, state by state. It's an excellent resource for adults too. The next one is Flixable.com. It's a little play on words for Netflix, and that's where you can go to search for movies from a variety of different streaming services. You can narrow it down to country, setting, and even the language if you are brave enough to watch a movie in another language. The next one is called Road Affair. This is a very long blog post about the 50 best travel movies of all time. A great place to start if you just are into armchair travel in general and want to do a deep dive into some great travel movies. Next is The Manual, which covers best travel shows and documentaries on Netflix. Again, this is a giant blog post that will give you many, many hours of viewing. The next one is Jaunty Everywhere, our travel blog.
Shameless plug.
Yes, where we write about different places that we've been, different countries and destinations, and different inspiration and how-to on how to travel. Another favorite travel blogger of ours is Dangerous Business. She's a solo traveler and does a great job of going deep into a place and giving you the how-to, enjoy it, and get the most out of your experience. We really like her blog. For podcasts, we love Extra Pack of Peanuts. It's a combination of destination posts, how-to posts, and they do a lot of the 10 best coffee in the world, the 10 best restaurants that they visited in the world. It's a variety of things, and we really enjoy that one. Another one that's new to me is called Peak Northwest, and this is just about Oregon and Washington and a little bit of Idaho. And it's two journalists from Oregon, the Oregonian, and they do a podcast on diving deep into the Pacific Northwest, which is our home base. I really enjoy their podcast. As far as tours, the National Parks Virtual Tours site has done a great job this year of increasing the number of virtual tours for people who can't get to see the museums, the historic places, and the heritage sites. They've done a great job of those. And also on the UNESCO World Heritage site, they've put a lot of tours of different World Heritage. So those are some really specific examples of ways that you can start to dive into armchair travel.
You may not get to go everywhere that you would like to, but that doesn't mean that you can't explore the world from your own home.
Right. This video is the second in a 4-part series on exploring countries and cultures at home. The first one was on international food, and be sure to keep an eye out for the next one, which is going to be on activities that you can do to explore countries and cultures.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up because it will
make our day.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Goodbye.